I find this to be absolutely hilarious, and I have a feeling that you will as well. After we got one of the most aggressive campaigns that lasted for more than 5 years, which was about the deconstruction of human rights, including the human right of freedom of expression, the human right of freedom of speech. We had the media, the journalists, the academia constantly talk to us about safe spaces and how you have free speech, but you have to be considerate in order not to offend others. And articles from the academia claiming that free speech is white supremacy, and that if you get fired for what you say, it's basically people showing you the door. And yes, you have free speech, but you don't have freedom from consequence. Like all of these things have been so hard drilled into my head to the point that I don't even know of an alternative reality where people would even champion free speech. And the situation is that this reality existed. Like, it's in the American Constitution, the First Amendment. The founding fathers realized the pivotal importance of free speech and then decided to give people weapons to defend those rights. So they have managed to subvert that way of thinking. Like modern day Americans can't even conceive an internet without trust and safety. They can't even conceive the idea of people speaking freely without fact checkers, without the risk of getting deplatformed, without the risk of getting fired from a job. So what free speech are they talking about? I mean, sure, it exists in principle. I guess you can go outside and you can say things and you're not going to get arrested. But none of these students are getting arrested. It's not what we're talking about. Like, it's literally the left concept of free speech, where if you go and you shout things in a subway, then that's fine. You know, you're not going to get arrested for it. But if someone films you doing it, then you can get fired. Then you may not actually get into the university you want. And this is what's happening to these students. And now the journalists are asking us to care. And by us, I mean the normies. You know, the people that were complaining that there is no free speech for the last 5 years. And we were called, oh, you just wanted to say the N-word. That's why you want free speech. You just wanted to say the N-word. No, I basically, you know, like, the reason we have principles is that when it's my turn, you defend me. And when it's your turn, I defend you. Even if we don't agree with what each other is saying, that is the importance for free speech. And these students are quickly discovering it, that, well, actually, there is no free speech. You know, the concept of Islamophobia, do you guys remember that? Like, if you criticized or said anything negative about Muslims, it was, oh my god, you're Islamophobic. You need to get fired. If you criticized pronouns, oh my god, you're transphobic. You need to get fired. Like, this is the world we live in. And I suppose what they are doing now is, when I am weaker than you, I will appeal to your principles. And when I am stronger than you, I will take away your rights because those are my principles. So apparently, you have students going, do we risk losing our careers over an ephemeral social post that doesn't save a single life in Palestine? The answer is, based on the modern culture that the academia has created, and I haven't seen a single student trying to fight against it, the answer is a resounding yes. I have seen people losing their careers over liking a tweet. I have seen people losing their career over the fact that their father said something racist before they were even born. So yes, yeah, you do risk losing your career over an ephemeral social post. Absolutely. Has happened before. Like, you are not the person that breaks this glass ceiling. And it has happened consistently, to the point where now people don't even bat an eyelid. It's like, I mean, yeah, of course, it's social media, right? Just because you have free speech doesn't mean that you have freedom from consequences. So the United States Senate passed a unanimous resolution condemning what it called anti-Israel and pro-Hamas student groups. I would like to point out that I haven't actually heard of pro-Hamas student groups. Like, I'm not saying there may not be any out there, but I haven't seen any example. Usually they are pro-Palestine. But I suppose the U.S. Senate, you know, it lacks the nuance. I mean, you need to have like some smart individuals out there, you know, actual statesmen, politicians that actually do things out of conviction, you know, more human, less plastic people, more people that talk from the heart, less that read from a prompter. And because you don't have that, I mean, I'm not expecting them to make the difference. And to be honest, they haven't made the difference up until now. It was, if you don't want the government to shut down your job and lock you in your house, then you're with 5G and magnets. I mean, again, this was the culture up until now. Why are we supposed to act shocked when the same culture is now being applied to some of the foot soldiers that were advocating for it? I mean, most of this comes from the university. So there's many universities that are dealing with this shit. And as the conflict intensifies, disputes are spilling over from campuses and governments into many workplaces as well. Recent weeks have seen pressure by the government officials against students, activist groups, the creation of public blacklists in multiple industries, and a wave of politically motivated firing over people's publicly stated views on the conflict. I would like to remind people that it was 2-3 years ago when the pandemic was happening, and everyone that was against government mandates suffered literally the same thing, right? There were blacklists over stuff you posted on social media, like if you were at 100% with masking up, if you were at 100% with your business being shut down. There were blacklists, there were people getting fired. There was no mercy. Before that, it was with the BLM protests. If you didn't think that the protests were anything besides fiery and mostly peaceful, as the mainstream media said, you would get fired. You had a football player from LA Galaxy that got fired over stuff his wife said on social media. Like, this is the current situation. So now that it's being applied to other people, now the journalist starts to care. Why didn't you care when it was happening to everyone else? I mean, if you cared when it was happening to everyone else, then we would have had the principle. But right now, I just don't see it. We are seeing people being fired from their jobs, being investigated by the HR over their social media posts or conversations with colleagues. The way they are describing this is as if it's just happening now. Like, up until this point, this was unusual, and all of a sudden, HR investigating people over social media should make us go Pikachu face. So this article is a little bit longer, and I will read it on a live stream, which will happen right after this video. If you're watching this video during the premiere, there's probably right now a blue link into the chat. If you look at the blue link, you click on it, and it will take you to my live stream. If you're watching this video without the premiere, go down to the pinned comment, and it will take you to my live. All the roads lead to my live stream. So we can analyze. Like, I want to be shocked by this, right? Like, I want to read something that shocks me, and I will be like, oh my God, what has our society come down to? I want legitimately, like, I want to see something that is being done here, which hasn't been done for the last 5 to 10 years. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.